Hi everyone, it's me, XENA, and me, Gabrielle here. And today we're going to talk about why I don't trust fair work. And I know there's going to be a lot of folks out there who have this misunderstanding of how the fair work slight of the ownership Doubleright law works. Now, a lot of folks will think, oh, well, I made fun of the film. I scathed the film. I shifted what was being said. I shifted what was being done. I worked it for learning grounds. So they think the film falls into fair work. The truth is, it does not. The truth is that fair work is a shield that you bring up when you get law worked by either a play or a film or a show business or a sport business or a film game business or anyone who has ownership and double right over something when you got to go see a doomsman or doomswoman or oath takers. And they are the ones that make the call to say if the film meets the standard of fair work or not. But by the time the law has to come in to say that your film is fair work, you already are in a lawful bind, a law work with the owner and double right holder. So, yeah, that's why I don't trust fair work. That's why fair work can go fuck itself, you know? And I know a lot of folks out there think that they watched a film on fair work or they read a whiff on the internet about fair work, and now in their mind they think they understand fair work, but they don't, you know? And so I keep away from fair work. We don't care about our double right. Businesses and folks are always worried about their double right. They think that you need to shield what you own. But the truth is, I don't care about my double right, and I never will. So, if someone wants to do what they want with this film, once it's handled on Euro, go ahead. I could care less. And even if we were making gald on this, which we are not making any income or gald on it, we still wouldn't care about our double right. And I know, Gabrielle, there are many businesses out there and folks that would get freak out. They would shock them, be a head scratcher and say, you don't care about your double right? No, we don't care about our double right, and we'll tell you why. One, don't have the man or woman might. Unlike a big business where they got a lawful team that can go and handle all the double right binds when it comes up, we don't. First off, the whole his word against our word thing. We don't have sheet work that we can pull out and say, here's ownership, here's fair work, here's, we don't got any of that. So it'd be my word, our word against their word. And I don't really give a shit anyway. It's out there. Even if you have double right over your work, it isn't going to stop folks from uploading it to other websites or taking it and doing whatever the fuck they want to do with it. Double right only shields your work, but it doesn't stop folks from taking your work. You know, they're going to do whatever, someone is going to do whatever they want to do with this film, and double right isn't going to stop it. You got that right, mother. And some of these things that we're saying right now in our film might not go down well with some businesses or some other crafters on Euro who are in a business-wise. They'll scratch their head. They can't understand why we don't care about our double right. You know? And they'll scratch their head and thought that they had an understanding of fair work. But the truth is, they did not have an understanding of fair work. And you're like, why we're not worried about ownership and double right? Because one, everything in our films is ours. There's no songs. There's no clips from a film or a show or a play or clips from a film game or a game or a song or anything that can be owned and double righted by someone else. So it would be hard. The only way that we would ever get in a bind if someone did a fake double right strike on our work. When you stop to think of it, why would someone want to do that? Because that's the only way you can get in a bind. You know? And some folks will look at this and think, oh, it's boring. You know what? Yeah, it need be boring, but it's greater to be boring than being a bind of ownership and Doubleright. Yeah, you're right about that, Gabrielle. So many folks out there, think that some folks out there think they gotta skim their films, that they gotta make their films brighter or darker, or they gotta put a beginning or end sheet to their films, or they gotta cut out all the times they coughed, or the times that, they'd said something wrong. They had to be they want their films to be flawless. Well, here's the truth. All of those film skimming tools that we work out there, the free ones, the skilled ones, they're all shit. None of them work well at all. And we never ever wanted to do any of that in our work anyway. So yeah, you're right about that. So Gabrielle, do you think there's anything we're going to be doing with our films coming up? Well, Mother, we won't be making any outside films until it gets warmer, though. Then you might think about making a film outside. But that won't be until at least going into the 4th month, maybe the 5th month. As of right now, it's just films in the bedroom or films from other rooms of the house, if we feel like it. So anyway, at the end of the day, it is what it is. We just gave our thoughts on why we don't care about our Doubleright, why we don't trust fair work. It is what it is. And don't get me started with, crafting deal. When you have the right to work with someone's film as long as you say, hey, this film or short or podcast or live stream was owned by so-and-so. But guess what? They don't tell you how to do it. They don't tell you, oh, write it right underneath the name of your film, or write it when you're talking about what's in your film, or, tag their name. They don't tell you. Hell, they don't even tell you if you should say it in the film itself. So, yeah. Keep away from that as well. At the end of the day, Gabrielle, we're kind of wise and not caring about our ownership or Doubleright. But at the same time, we don't have a business mind. We don't got a lawful mind. If you truly don't understand, and we don't want to mislead you, if you want to know more about how those tools work, like what's the truth about fair work, or the truth about crafting things, then you should talk to a lawyer or someone who has the understanding of it, since we do not. Alright, give this film a like, share and playlist it, and we'll, see you later. Shit!